A very short video on sampling. We'll cover sampling again a bit later on, but the NICRIS sampling criteria states that for voice, certainly for voice, it's slightly different for audio, but we'll stick with voice, that you need to sample at twice the highest frequency. So therefore, if we've got a voice signal that's 3 kilohertz voice signal, we need to then sample it at 6 kilohertz as a bare minimum. What does this mean? Well, it means that 6,000 times a second we'll be sampling that signal, so that we can then, for it being a wiggly signal, we can then take readings at 6,000 times a second to then be able to produce a digital stream of data. So that's every second there are 6,000 lots of samples that allows us of digital data that allows us to then transmit that digital data should we want to, or store it, and then we can then reproduce that. So the more samples that we create, as we'll find out, the greater the greater that we can actually reproduce the signal at the end. The finer, the better the resolution. So if we put that into context of a question, CD, and also we don't use CDs much nowadays. We've got some sort of signal, 0 to 15 kilohertz, and we create 8-bit words. So we're going to do, to start with, well, we're going to look at the sampling rate first, aren't we? So we sample at 30,000 times a second, okay, and then we're going to create 8-bit words, which means then we're going to have, if we take the 8 bits and multiply by the sampling rate, we're going to have 240 kilobits per second being produced. Okay, quite a bit, but not as much as some modern day systems. So let's have a look at the file size then, so that we're sticking in it within the same unit. So convert 74 minutes into seconds means then I can multiply then our 240 kilobits per second by this number. This gives us 1065 megabits, how much is stored on there, which if we wanted to, then we could convert it to megabytes, which is more commonly used rather than bits. So divided by 8, 133 megabytes. Okay, I wasn't required, I just did that just for fun.